Shalom. Want to start off souls by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kodash, double honors, apostle, great millstone, and honors you brothers doing the work, the most high in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh is the raw name of whom the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, or Yahweh. His raw name is Yahweh. The Son's true name is Yahweh Shai. And when we pray Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba meaning in, Ha meaning then, Sham meaning name. So Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. It's a quick one. Came across this quote. It says, truth does not mind being questioned. A lie does not like being challenged. Right? And, when I saw this, thought about, us starting off the apostles on down who teach the right doctrine. Right? Now, obviously this isn't talking about people just constantly coming up scoffing. Scriptures, talk about answer not a fool according to his folly, right? But if someone has a genuine question, guess what? Archium are here, stop once again, starting with the apostles on down. They're here to answer, here to edify, right? In fact, let me grab that. This is what you call it is 2 Timothy 2, 2 Timothy 4 and 2, preach the word, right? And that's it, preach the word. That's what we're meant to do, right? It says be instant. Let me look at if there's anything we can garner from this word here, instant. To stand up, so ephistemi, G2186, stand upon, be present, application friendly. Doesn't really go too much, but just be instant, in season, out of season. So teach always, right? Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine, right? So being preaching the words, that's the thing, preach the word. And part of that it talks about is going into answering questions, any questions that anyone might have, right? What is this one? Yep, this is Hebrews 3:13. But exhort one another daily, right, while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin, right? And which is why the apostles push, doing a video a day, right, if you can, right? Being in that spirit of constantly making videos to exhort and to teach. Okay, so this is Acts 17 and 10. This is another precept that came to mind, right? It says, and the brethren immediately sent away Paul and Silas by night unto Berea, who coming thither went into the synagogue of the Jews, right? It says these were more noble than those in Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness of mind and searched out the scriptures daily whether those things were so, right? Because they heard something, right? And then they could have questioned Paul, but then for themselves, they went and questioned and went straight to the source and looked at the source of itself. And what did they do? They found out that these things were so. They found out these things were true, right? Because that's it. At the end of the day, scriptures talk about let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind, right? So, they once again, it's starting with the balls on down. Put those questions on a comment board, right? But when you've heard the apostle say that, several times, it'll be like, he was saying, I forget how I phrased it, apostle Dart is like, yeah, man, you get out, brothers, you be saying, oh, sorry, I don't mean to, this, that, and the other, but I got a question. And the apostle was like, ask the question, right? Because at the end of the day, it's all about edifying, right? It's all about teaching, right? Let all things be done unto edification, right? But then also, one has to be grounded and has to go and confirm those things for your own selves. Which is why, once again, when you learn, you watch along the videos, you write down the precepts that you're coming across, right, and you go back and you review them for yourselves, right? And then guess what? If the Spirit's dealing with you, you'll find out that you have indeed been told the truth, right? This is 1 Peter 3:15. But sanctify the Lord a power in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear. All right. So once again, when us as teachers, right, we have to be ready to teach, which means knowing what we need to know, right, being able to teach it, right. If any man has a question, guess what? We're going to give you you're going to get an answer, right? Question pertaining to the scriptures, you're going to get an answer, right? Because the Lord has had mercy right? And he hath revealed his secrets. This is Amos 3:7. Surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets. Right? So the Lord has, because these scriptures are a mystery, right? Most people don't understand. They'll open the scriptures and they have no idea what is going on, right? They're clueless, okay? But the Lord has had mercy and he has revealed the secrets of these scriptures, to a select group of men, right? That's why the scriptures say, blessed are your eyes for they see. This is 1 John 2:20. But you have an unction from the Holy One, and you know all things. Once again, all things pertaining to the scriptures, right? Which is necessary to be able to teach, right? To be able to come out, go out there in the highways and byways, because on the highways and byways, guess what? You can be asked anything, right? But once again, going back to the quote, the truth doesn't mind being questioned, right? As long as people ain't being a scoffer, right? Right, when someone comes with a sincere question, guess what? You're gonna get answered. Okay. Once again, Apostle Saul was like, "Hey man, if I missed the question, ask it in another video." Right. In fact, there's a precept which goes into that, although it's more going into just this is where should I start? I'll just on the point that I was making just now. It says Sirach 6:36, and if thou see a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door. Let thy mind be upon the ordinance of the Lord, and meditate continuing his commandment, and he will establish thine heart and give thee wisdom at thine own desire. Right? Now, the point that I wanted there, because I had just been speaking about, the statement Apostle Har says, like, look, man, if I don't see in one, if you got a question, I don't see in one video, ask it in another video. It made me think of this precept, right? Let thy foot wear the steps of his door. The medium that we have, to listen and to inquire, right, is the YouTube, right? So continuing on, so we read that, right, and ultimately, right, the reasoning why this is so important, right, is because the truth needs to be professed, right? Because right now, right, we live in a world of darkness, right? We live in a world of darkness led by Esau, right? And Esau, he's a lion, right, and the father of it, okay? And then you also have what Psalms 58:3 speaks about, how he is estranged from the womb, okay? But what is happening now is the truth is being professed throughout the world. Right, this is 2 Ezra 6:27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. And how is deceit quenched? By way of truth. Right? Now you got lots of people, and one of the precepts that we have about strongholds, got a lot of people that are basically tied up in these strongholds that Esau has pushed. Okay, but when the truth comes out, guess what? Those strongholds are being, being taken down. Right. In fact, let me just grab it now. It says 2 Corinthians 10:4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. Right. And you got lots of different strongholds. Right. But Esau pushes a whole load of lies upon the people. Right. And this truth is pulling down those lies. Right. Is pulling down, and it's not only just pulling down lies, but also pushing the truth, right? The real truth of what the hell is happening in this world, who people are as nations, right? The fact that he is the devil, right? Esau, the so-called white man. Here it is, he'll profess himself to be like some kind of angel, right? But he's far, far from that. Okay, so when these lies are there, guess what? People, want the truth, and they desire the truth, right? But guess what? The truth doesn't mind being questioned, right? Well, let's read again. The truth doesn't mind being questioned. A lie does not like being challenged, right? So ask your questions, right? Because then you'll find out if the Lord is dealing with you, that what is being said is the truth. Right, because if, for instance, I saw this in context of the whole, CV, jams, and this, that, and the other, And one of the people just put it there because, you know, those that were for the juicy juice, right? They don't like, you know, they don't want to be questioned. They are right and nothing else, right? But if it's the truth, then, you know, if someone has a question, guess what? That individual will eventually have to be like, you know what, you are right, right? But guess what? They weren't speaking the truth. Whereas we know we have the truth, right? And we've got an answer for any question that you have, okay? Verse 28, 2 Timothy 6:28, as for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared, right? And this truth is being declared. Now, just to quickly deal with the second half, right? A lie does not like being challenged, right? This is Galatians 4:16. And am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Which in this world, no one likes being told the truth, okay? No one likes being told the truth because it's like they've been indoctrinated so much that the truth offends them, right? But the Most High doesn't care whether the truth offends you or not, right? The truth is the truth is the truth, okay? And then you got the account with Stephen, right? It says Acts 7, I'm going to start from 51. Ye stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears, ye do always resist the Holy Ghost, as your fathers did, so do ye, right? Which of the prophets have not your fathers persecuted? Right? Why were they persecuting the prophets from old? Right? Because the prophets' deeds, that's what the prophet's saying. You know, but the father, you know, the forefathers, you know, the wicked niggas of old, if you will, right? They didn't like being told they were going off. We just read it in Galatians 4:16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth, right? So then they have slain them which showed before of the coming of the just one, right? Of whom ye have now been the betrayers and murderers, right? Who have received the law by the disposition of angels and have not kept it. When they heard these things, they were cut to the heart, right? And they gnashed on him with their teeth. But he, being full of the Holy Ghost, looked up steadfastly into heaven and saw the glory of the Most High and Yahushua standing on the right hand of the Most High, and said, Behold, I see the heavens opened, and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of the Most High. Then they cried out with a loud voice and stopped their ears. So basically they got so cut, you know that they was like, you can imagine, right? And you've seen people do that in real life. You know, you'll be telling them truths, right? And then they'll legit just block their ears, like physically block their ears, right? And then they'll try to fight you, man, right? It says, and ran upon him with one accord and cast him out of the city and stoned him with stones. And the witness laid down their clothes at a young man's feet, whose name was Saul, right? So what was Stephen doing? He was telling these people about themselves, right? He was, breaking down the lie that they had built in their own mind, right? And then guess what? They got so cut, right, that they killed him, right? Jerusalem, thou about killest the prophets, man. Right? It's Hebrews 4:12, right? It says, for the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. You know, so this truth, right, is like a two-edged sword, right? And when people, hear it, they get cut, man. Okay. But once again, if you're of the elect, you get, one will get cut, and then keep it moving, right? Go in the right direction, right? People will be like, oh, it ain't about this, but it's about your delivery. Well, hey, we were all cut coming into this thing, man, right? This is John 3:19, and this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil, right? And that's ultimately, what it is. People want to, live in the lie that they've built for themselves, right? They don't want to deal with the truth, right? Because when they when they deal with the truth, they get they get cut, right? The lies that they've made themselves, these people don't want to get those things challenged, okay? All these different lies that you have in this world, right? But the Lord is coming to to put down all of these lies, It says Hebrews, I read that already, right? But that's it, man. So the truth does not mind being questioned. Yeah, ask your questions, right? And then you'll find out that actually you are being given 100% truth, right? However, all of these different lies, whether it's the hell doctrine, right? Whether it's the so-called white man can be saved, right? Whether it's those that believe only the so-called black nations can make it, right? Those that once again, those that believe in things outside of this doctrine, right? They don't like being challenged, right? And then more so you start dealing with the doctrines of this world, right? When you question the alphabet people, guess what? You get finished immediately, right? You question the CVs, you get finished because, oh, how can you say that? You're this, you're that, right? Slandering. That's what they end up doing, right? But as always, Lord's will that was edifying. Until the next time we say Shalom.